where sounds twist and snag, echoes of the past, blending new crafts.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I have this JVC RVB70 portable CD player and a tuner, and as a manufacturer says in the manual, it is powered woofer CD system. You can operate it with the line voltage or a bunch of batteries, or you can plug it in a DC 12 volts like in your car. And that's it. For today's standards, I think it's more usable with a Bluetooth connection than a radio tuner. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to show you a little bit of the inside of this player and what are these super woofers, how they are mentioned in the service manual. Basically they are just 6.5 inch woofers, and they have got something like 40 watts power for that woofer section. So it's a pretty nice portable player and very usable. It has got good sound, really nice bass for that application. I'm gonna install the Bluetooth module inside that device, and I'm gonna show you where I locate it and how I connect it. But first things first, I think it's nice to see this open, and I will show you how it's made, and I show you those super woofers. They are pretty nice. So let's take the screws out and open this device and take the woofers out. One thing behind this device is sound quality, which is pretty decent. Are these speaker drivers. They are 3 inches here, these mid and high drivers, but they are with a quite big motor. They are heavy ones, and they are properly installed here. As I can show you, they do have this back cabinet, and also they do have some insulation or absorption. They also have some absorption, like so. Not every Boom Blaster has these decent cabinets from this era anyways. And one more thing, when I'm installing this cabinet, you can see it's tightened with screws. This is something you can't see every day. Now let's talk about the installation of the Bluetooth module in this player. Basically, we need some additional components. We need this Bluetooth module itself, and this is pretty self-explanatory. The board has power input, plus and minus, 5 volts, or a little bit less, but not more. Then it has got output, left, right, and ground for the audio. Let's have a look at the schematics. Perhaps that explains better what we need and where are we going to connect this part anyways. First thing, we need power. We need that voltage, 5 volts for the Bluetooth part. Here we have the power supply section of this player, and I have decided to use this US 6 volts power supply IC390. It's basically a voltage regulator, and it has got output 6 volts. So that we can have 5 volts, I'm adding 2 diodes forward for that output, so it drops something like 1 volt or so, a little bit more. So it's sufficient for this Bluetooth module, which needs 5 volts. Also, it's important to find such a power supply in this player which is always on. If you turn CD player on or off, there is another power supply in the upper part of this picture, and it has got the turn off transistor. If CD is not playing, it will turn that power supply off. So we can't use that, but this other power supply, auxiliary power supply for power amplifier, ICs and something like that, that's okay to use in our application. So we need 2 diodes for that, and then we are going to connect the Bluetooth port to the audio section. Here we have got this amplifier, function amplifier picture of the service manual, amp section as it says. And you can see there are those 2 red dots again. Those are the points where I'm going to connect additional decoupling capacitors. We have there already capacitors for tuner and CD player, and I'm going to add a couple of 4.7 microfarad capacitors for our Bluetooth module, and they are then connected to the IC401 to the pins 6 and 2. They are the inverting inputs of that particular operational amplifier. And next thing, because we are connecting those audio signals from our Bluetooth module in parallel with tuner and CD player, we have to be sure that they are not playing any music at the same time. If we turn on the CD player, it uses muting, so the power amplifier section is muted if CD player is stopped but powered on. It only turns the amplifier on if the CD is playing music. So we can't use that, but when I turn the tuner section on, the amplifier is always on. It's not going to mute even if there is no signal in radio. So we can use that. But we want to cut the tuner audio signal because there is always something. If there is no tune station, there will be statics. So we have to cut the signal, and basically what I did make some cut to the tuner part. You can see here are the 2 red dots again. Those are the points that I just simply cut it off, and in the video you can see the exact place where I did that. And I simply connected a switch between those points so that I can turn the tuner on if I want to listen to the tuner and radio. So I just flip the switch on and connect those audio signals. But if I want to listen to the Bluetooth module, then I cut the audio signal from tuner and everything is okay. I can listen to my Bluetooth music. But in addition, you can notice here in this tuner, you can see there is R35 and R34. They are 18K resistors in series with the output of this tuner audio. And also there are 150K resistors in series with CD player output. So we have to use resistors also for the output of the Bluetooth module. And I decided to install 120K resistors in series. And it works just fine. Audio signal is in the same level with the CD player and tuner now. So basically, if we take a look at this Bluetooth module part and its outputs of the audio signal, I just soldered those 120k resistors directly to those output pins and right and left, and then there I wired amplifier board. And here you can see the picture of the amplifier board itself and how I connected those audio signals there. And here in this picture you can see the power supply port, connection of power line for Bluetooth module. Okay, let's have a look at this installation inside the Boom Blaster. This here is the Bluetooth module. I have found the perfect place for that. It fits very well there, and it also has got this smoothing capacitor installed on board. And here we have a switch, and with that switch I can turn on my radio section and listen to the radio, or just disconnect it so that I can use Bluetooth instead of the radio. And here in the amplifier board I have installed two decoupling capacitors and some wires, and the wires are going into that Bluetooth module output. And I also have those two resistors in the output so that it is matched to the amplifier input. And here we have this tuner module. It's a radio for AM and FM. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to open some connections from the output, and I will make a cut to them, and then I will install this switch between that. And here you can see I just simply did cut the traces between these 2 points of the output, and after cutting those connections and traces I simply installed the switch between those points, and there are some very handy dandy holes through the board. And here we got the power amplifier module. As you can see, there is one empty slot for the second capacitor for the power amplifier. It's for the power rail, and I'm going to add it because there is a place for it. And then what I'm going to do, I'm gonna check these Jodas joints for the power amplifier modules because they are in the big stress in these circuit boards. I'm gonna desolder them. And this is how it looks like after installing boards back on their places. There you can see the tuner port, and here on the right side we can just take a look at the Bluetooth board. It is hidden inside there in the right place, and the wiring goes here for the audio. This is for the audio and this is for the power. Okay, and here we are. Now this Boom Blaster is again in one piece all together, and if we want to listen to the tuner, some radio station, we can do that. Or we can just flip the switch and take some music from my Bluetooth device. And this is how I upgraded this JVC Superwoofer CD player system to this day, to this date, 2025. And it's now, it has got Bluetooth connectivity with this module. Basically, I just bought this module from eBay seller. It's called VHM314, and I'm sure you can find that or something similar in very low prices and purchase if you want to install in your own system something like this. And then I needed some additional parts, that one capacitor for this Bluetooth module that you can see in this video. It is because the power supply of this CD player system, it's a little bit noisy and it produces some nasty interference for the Bluetooth audio signal if there is no capacitor. So I installed this 1800 microfarads and a 6.3 volts capacitor. It's a low ESR electrolytic capacitor, and it smooths out that interference just fine. Then we needed 2 pieces of diodes. They can be just regular rectifier diodes, 2 pieces in series with a 6 volt power supply, so the result will be something like 5 volts for this application. And then 2 pieces of resistors, 120k, some wires, couple of 4.7 microfarad capacitors for decoupling in the amplifier section, 1 2-pole switch, and some patience to make the connections and installations. So remember, if you like my videos, remember to thumb up, and please subscribe my channel for the future videos. Now I hope you all peace and happiness, and bye bye.
Audio tinkering lab, where sounds twist and snap, echoes of the past, blending new crafts.